What up, gentlemen? Always good. Always a pleasure to sit here and talk to you guys. This video is very, very important. Do not skip it. This is something your father should have told you. This is something your big brother should have told you. This is something your big cousin should have told you. Your uncle should have tell you. This is very important. This is kind of like the minimal requirement as a man. Have your own everything. Excuse me. Don't need woman. The key word here is need. You can want a woman, you can have a desire for a woman, but don't be like, oh, I need a woman to be with. I mean, if you want to have kids and stuff like that, of course, what I'm trying to say, you don't depend on a woman. The bad position you can be in, very bad position you can be in, is needing a woman. Unfortunately, there are scenarios where post-divorce, the man lose it all, and he's begging the woman for help. There are guys out there who's like, she's laid up with a whole new dude, and he's begging her, hey, can I sleep outside? Can I sleep on the couch? Yeah. That's not gonna be you. Do what you must legally to get back on your feet. You will fall in life. Of course you will fall. You will fall in your life. You will fall in life. But do what you need to do. Have your own everything. Notice I say have your own everything. I didn't say, some other men, they're going to push, oh, go and take over the world, go be the next Andrew Tate. Sure. I mean, if you can, the more the better. But the minimum, you have your own shelter. I don't care if it's a studio apartment, a one-bedroom house, one-bedroom, whatever. You know what? Nah, it gotta be, you know what I'm saying? But even if it's just a car that you're sleeping in, as you're getting back in your feet, as long as it's yours, you need to be, and I've learned that to life, that you have to be less dependable. You have to be less dependent on people, period. Meaning your mom, your parents, everybody. Like, try to be, but when it comes down to women, no question asked. You cannot depend on them. You cannot depend on them. And especially if you're not with them, you don't want to be dependent on them. If you want to have respect, have your own everything. Have a woman come live with you. You don't go live with no woman. If you are really, really down in a very bad situation, you have to get out of it fast. If you're with a woman who's making more money than you, as long as you have your own everything, it's okay. Where a lot of men messed up at is, they go live with a woman who is well financial. Either she's a nurse or whatever. Then they start slacking, get lazy. Then they become fat like me. I'm with my girl. She's making the more money. My life is easy. That's not a man. Because the question is not, if y'all gonna break up. Of course y'all will, especially if she's the man. Then you screwed. Excuse me. Have your own everything. Don't depend. In reality, don't depend on nobody. Work, save your money, live within your means. Stop trying to compete with your neighbor. Oh, neighbor got a new car. Here you go. Get in debt, trying to impress. You know, live within your means. Focus on yourself. Grow wherever you can grow. Doesn't matter. Have your own everything. Doesn't matter. Yeah, she left me with a doctor. She left me to do the pilot. They do the dentist. I don't care about the other dude. The dude's doing it correctly. He got his own everything. You know, it doesn't matter if he's making more money than you or whatever. Your thing is, even if you're working a minimum job, you have somewhere to call home. You have something to drive or bus transportation. You don't need nobody. You're hungry, better order something or trial and error in the kitchen. The best leverage a man can have is being independent. But to be fair, anybody who is independent, meaning anybody who have money, meaning they have a good job, they have money, you know, they can pay their bills on time, they can eat, have power, meaning they're not gonna entertain. You can't tell a girl, you know, who's independent and be like, hey, I'm gonna leave you because your life will be okay. She ain't gonna care because she got it. You know, most of these women, you know, some of them just want to stay single because, you know, they be like, man, I don't want to listen to men. I don't want to obey men. You know, they're on a different time. But we can talk about that later. But what I'm trying to say is that they have the power because they find a way to not need a man by being the provider, by being independent. It helps a lot by not needing nobody. You know, especially like, you know, me in my situation, single, once a month I can have somebody come here and clean their house once a month, although I do the cleaning myself. But, you know, because I'm busy and sometimes I like to, you know, help out because, you know, I have some clients that pay me well. You know, I'm like, yo, have somebody come here clean their house once a month. You know, I have a sitter, you know. I even have some people I can call if I need them to do errands and chores. I don't mind paying for that. You know, personal assistance, so to speak. But do I like? Man, I don't know what I'm going to do. Yes, there was a point of time I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I went back to the drawing board. And then I started planning it out. Okay, I need to get out of the house. I need to go do some deliveries or something. Okay, I need to work more hours here. Okay, I need to go out there and do something. Any advice that I could give? You know, like my kids, and I got 2 boys, or any man, is to try your hardest to never be in a position where you need a woman. My biggest fear, knock on wood, is not being able to walk. I need to take better care of myself. You know, granted, there are like social security and, you know, probably insurance or whatever. Like, let's say I get paralyzed or something. That's my biggest fear. And I hope, and I'm trying to make investments, or I'm trying to make decisions now on things that will make my life easier when I get old. You know, especially with my kids, you know, I never want to need them to help me. Well, it's not financially. I want to be able to hold my own forever. But yeah, in general, so to speak, don't depend on nobody. But a person, man or woman, a person who can hold their own weight, meaning they have a place to lay down, their bills are getting paid, they can feed themselves, they're not calling, texting nobody for help. That's a powerful person. Women don't respect men who are down. You go live with a woman, she's gonna belittle you. You know, if you are dating a woman, you know, or married to a woman, you lost your job, see how much that woman love you. After you lost your job or you lost your position, that's when she's gonna belittle you, talk down to you, slipping around on you. I've seen it happen. I've seen it where financially a woman surpasses the husband, whether it's to school, to work, promotion, or whatever, and then she became mean to him all of a sudden because she's the one making most of the money. She think, you know, she's the boss now. And then bam, divorce. And there are some situations where, for some reason, her life is ruined. And then he took off alone. And I need to make another video about that, about how you should not build a woman. You will hear women say, I need somebody to build with. Build together. What does that mean? You both work, you both went to school, you both got money, you both got good paying jobs. What happened if one of them fall? The other one, well, usually it's not equal. If the woman fall, the man's gonna most likely still be there and help her out. But if he fall, gambling, alcohol, drugs, or whatever, she gonna be over that man so fast. You know, I don't care what you drive, man. It gotta be yours. Don't be driving a girl car. Meaning, like, depend on her. I mean, you can't have a girlfriend, you know. I'm talking about, like, don't be like, oh, I don't have a car, can I borrow your car? Have your own everything. every single bills in this house is on my name. All my car titles on my name. Insurance, my name. Bank account, my name. Save my name. I have no business in somebody else's name, or I have no business joint with somebody else. My don't care, all me. My videos, pictures, all me. You know, I'm hot and drunk. It's a good feeling to have 100% everything yours, then be married and have it 50-50. I know a gentleman that was going through a divorce. His wife turned out to be a hoe. They bought a nice house together, not even a year ago. Now she's in the project with some dude while they're going through a divorce. That way they can sell their house, split their money. You know how that goes. Nice house too. Nice little area. It's like they live in their own little island. Meaning, neighbors kind of like far away. A lot of privacy. That's what happened when you're married. Now, there are men out there. I have another buddy of mine. He too bought a house, but he's not married. Of course, he have a beautiful girlfriend because he got a good paying job. He got a house. He got his own everything. He's doing it like he's supposed to. I used to cut his grass. I went over there. Beautiful girlfriend. And then, matter of fact, I see him the other day on the highway. He's sitting in something different. Driving in a car. He was like, man, I had to get it. Why? He's doing it the correct way. He's getting money and he staying independent. Oh yeah, stay unmarried. That's another big advice. Number one advice is have your own everything. But then again, if you are married, you screwing that up. Historically, that's how it's supposed to be. Let's go back in time. Even those ancient movies. The king owns lands on this, on that. The prince on all this shit to the king. A dollar comes with nothing but purity, which women don't have anymore. Basically a virgin. Somebody no other men have touched. And then she bow down to the king, and together they rule the world. But we live in a different time where the women are the kings now. As they should to an extent, because I have moms, sisters. I don't want them to be, I want them to be, I want them to hold it on. Because I know how some men can be. Whenever a woman said, because I would see them on dating apps, oh, I'm a homeowner. I don't know what that means. I mean, good. I'm glad you are a homeowner. I'm glad you got, your own thing. But if me and you would get too serious, if me and you would be in a relationship, what does that mean? I'm going to live with you? Okay, let's say that do happen, which I never have done. That would be very uncomfortable. Because, I got to have my own palace, my own kingdom. Like, I would never free the men of the house. Because on papers, everything's in your name. And, Granted, depending on the situation, if we break up, I might be able to keep their house. Like some women keep their house, but like if you're already headed before marriage, that it can, I don't know. Well, let's not get too complicated. The thing is that basically is, if I'm living with a woman at her house, best believe I got money on my account. I got my own money. But really, man, gents, like I said, be independent. The more independent, financially stability you are, you good. But don't use it for evil. You see a guy, you can tell he got his car. It's like I would see a successful man, and the moment I see a wedding ring, I feel like all that stuff go out the window. Yeah, you can still be successful after a divorce, all that stuff, but the willpower into the world, like the true power, is a man who is successful or is unmarried, not attached to nobody. Really, if you don't have any kids, but you can have kids, but as long as you stay unmarried, you're winning. And as long as you have your own everything. One more little story before I go. There's a neighborhood I used to do work at. I used to work for this guy. He sold a house. It was like a $1 million house, 1.3. So I went to the neighborhood because I still do work for his neighbor. And then his neighbor told me that the guy who bought that house for $1.3 million is putting another $400,000 in it. We decorating or we constructing the whole inside of the house to his liking. Now that's how you know you got money. Something about they're young. His wife have a baby on the way. I was like, I'm not a betting man. But by the time that baby's turned 5, they'll be divorced. But some people, maybe they have money through family or something. They're gonna be okay. But I'm like, by the time that kid turned 5, I was thinking in my head, they're gonna be divorced. All right, gents.